Can you stop tapping your mic? We already did. We already did sound check before we started recording. Okay, real. This week's traders. At one point, I was like, I was sweating. I was trembling with anxiety. You know that I don't know if you've seen the gif of somebody sitting like this. Patreon exclusive anxiety. That's how I was sitting in my bed watching Traders on Thursday night. I watched it live.
As it came on?
Yeah.
I was also very anxious watching this show. Luckily, I was doing about 70 on the Garden State Parkway. So I had to focus on the road, which is why I likely didn't sweat. But like I was what's going on both fronts.
Could you imagine, like, if you got pulled over and they're like, "What's wrong? You seem really tense," and you're like, "I don't know which way Rob is gonna vote."
Alan had to cut in and tell Rob we need a vote now. Do you understand? As they're dragging me out, and I'm still watching it.
It's not funny. Anyway, listen, let's talk about traders this week. By the way, we have some new listeners. Oh. I was in Texas this weekend, and I did convince my husband's niece to start watching Traders, and then listening to it. So I'm going to give a shout out to little baby Rania.
Little baby Rania. How little baby is little baby Rania? Like, what's her age?
22.
Oh, so we can say fucking shit and piss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Anyway.
Salam, Rania.
Anyway, we open this episode on breakfast with Maura, Kristen, and Rob, and somebody said this is like this would be like the hardest F, marry, kill to look at.
Wait, who is it?
Maura, Kristen Kish, and Rob R.
No, I'm out. Kill me. That's the answer there.
I would die. I would like to see all three of them F and M, and then I would be the one to K myself.
You know what? Like, I understand you have to say the M part because Rania is listening. I say just do the F part, man.
Anyway, also Rob is in the most clothes we've ever seen. He comes in like a flannel outfit and like a
bitch. That's
not a shadow.
Yeah, because you go, all right, like I get this guy. He's kind of like a fuck boy. He's always showing his arms off or whatever his tattoo. And then he comes in like a normie, and he go, hey, I can't be attracted to these many versions of you. This is not okay.
Yeah, you dress like a normie, and you go, well, I don't understand. I'm still horny. What happened?
What happened here?
What's going on?
You are wearing something from Target, and I'm still into you. I do not understand this.
I don't get it. Okay, but more importantly, salmon. They talk about the salmon plates. I've been writing it in my notes for 2 weeks, and I keep forgetting to bring it up. Now, you're obviously not a salmon person, allergic to seafood.
Allergic to shellfish, but I use that as an excuse to get out of all seafood because it tastes like seafood.
I will say, even though I am a seafood eater, I was never into smoked salmon until just a month ago.
Oh, what happened a month ago?
A month ago it's like around Christmas. Yeah, it was Christmas. My sister-in-law's parents came over with lox and like a sauce and crackers. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, I don't know what it was. It was just the sauce that came with it was just like fresh dill, a little bit of lemon juice, and creme fraiche. And then just some really good quality lox with a lot of dill on top, which is some crackers. And I was like, this is so good. It was actually so good. Now, I do understand that these are reality TV people. They're very conscious of what they look like. I think that salmon might be the only thing on the table with protein in it besides the eggs. You're muted.
Sorry. You think that's the thing? Like, you think it's a health thing? I think it's a deliciousness thing. Now, obviously, like you said, I am not a seafood person myself. Conceptually, though, right? When I think about lox, like when I think of like a bagel, like a toasted bagel with cream cheese and lox and like smoked salmon, whatever, right? Conceptually, it makes sense to me. I understand like how you exactly, the mouthfeel, even like the taste feel, like what's going on here, like with the cream cheese is like giving you whatever. It's just the taste of the seafood that I don't understand. But the question is, why is the salmon so limited? Why can't they?
What's the budget, Peacock? Like, are we
Yeah.
spending all of our money on Alan's wardrobe and now they can't
Mhm.
have any salmon? Like, why are there only 2 plates of salmon?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I wonder because salmon is, I'm assuming these are slices, right?
Yeah.
So I would assume what's happening is that they are at the very least making a slice per person. Now, do
Yeah.
you think some like the people that get in early are doubling up?
No, but
And
I
like,
don't think okay, first of all, 1 slice of smoked salmon per
I have
person
no idea.
is not
Listen, it's
enough.
not
Okay,
salmon isn't
no.
my culture, so I don't know how to talk
No, no,
about
no.
it.
If they're not allotting at least 4 to 5 pieces of salmon per person
Oh,
on that cast,
4 to
that is
5.
not it's very thin.
Uh-huh.
It's so thin. It's like thin pieces of fish.
But
And
isn't it intense? Don't you just need like a sliver of it?
no, it's
Okay, I'm
barely
sorry.
there. I feel like we need more. And maybe I'm just saying that because I'm a big fat pig person. But I think 4 to 5 pieces of salmon, thinly sliced smoked salmon per cast member should be enough. Now, I recognize there might be some vegetarians on the
Mhm.
cast, maybe some people like you who just don't like fish, some people who are allergic. I understand. But I do believe that there is somebody on the cast who is
Hoarding
eating
this
too much of it.
salmon. Yeah. You said
Yes.
4 to 5 pieces per cast member. Are you imagining one bagel? Like, what is the 4 to 5 pieces? Or are you making maybe 2 bagels out of it? Maybe
I don't
are
think
you
they're
eating some of
having
the same?
bagels. I don't think they have bagels in Scotland.
Okay. So they're just
I
eating the, you just,
I think they're having it over toast.
okay. All right.
But I know that I don't see any bacon on the table. So I don't
Yeah.
know if there's any other protein besides like boiled eggs.
Maybe.
And apparently this is the breakfast. I don't think they get fed at the Howard Johnson before they get here.
I'm
I
sure there's
think
a
this is the
continental
breakfast.
breakfast though, right? Like, I'm sure they can get like the free
But
coffee.
but again, it's just like carbs. And I think they're
Yeah.
like jonesing for some protein and this is like all they're going to get. And they're like, but
Yeah.
also I would be like Uber Eats exists. Like you guys can Uber Eats yourself some like, McGriddles or whatever.
I need to read somebody's in-depth blog post about how Trump's tariffs have affected the salmon supply in Scotland, which is the reason why they can't get to the salmon. I think
It
that's
has
what's
to be
happening.
that. It has to be
Mhm.
that. Anyway, um I feel like people care more about if there is salmon on the table than who actually made it out of
Mhm.
murder. I think
Yeah.
that's what it feels like. But we also don't know if anybody died because we don't know who took shields or not. But alas, hurrah, huzzah, everybody made it. Everyone's there. And we go back to the night before last night at the turret. And Alan's like, guess what? These fucking faithfuls,
Mhm.
nobody took a shield, so no murder tonight. And the girls and Ron are like, okay, that's fine, let's just come up with what we want to do.
Yeah.
And they're thinking banishment, we're gonna banish Ron, let's go with the group, it looks like
Yeah.
everybody wants to go against Ron. And murder, we gotta murder Colton because Colton's fucking annoying and he's saying
Yeah.
Lisa Rinna's name. So it's like fine. Then Alan shows up and he's like, there's going to be a mission and it's going to be creepy. But Alan's hair. Now, this came up a while ago and I didn't get to talk about it. But on the very first, like, bunch of episodes, the first dump, there was that one outfit that Alan had on where he looked a little bit like a canary. Like his
Mhm.
hair was like red and pointy and then he had like a full yellow outfit. Now, the hair came back this episode and it looked like, remember Anger from Inside Out? Like his hair is on fire.
Yeah.
He kind of looked like that. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. If this is the reason why there's not no smoked salmon, we're in trouble. But
Probably.
anyway, at the table, Colton's like, Dorinda, you should observe Lisa Rinna. And Lisa Rinna's like, just being Lisa Rinna, I guess. There's a whole bunch of pre-mission chatter, and they still think it's Ron because of his behavior. Now, I have to pause here, Raheel, because Ron Funches, we actually found out this week, is autistic.
Oh my god. Yo, it feels like that should have been told to us. And also
so he actually has a child on the spectrum, and he said, for a long time I thought like I was just an ally. Like he talked about it and he was like, I thought it was just an ally, but like actually I realized that there was a lot of things that my kids did that I also do. And then, it's a late in life diagnosis, but yeah, I'm also on the spectrum. And so like then to go from that to like Rob and Ron playing chess, and fucking Rob being so fucking sweet to Ron and being like, you know, Ron's just an introvert, and sometimes the most like intense pressure, the hardest places in a person for a person like that is a room full of people. It could be like the loneliest. But Rob,
your job is supposed to be snakes, you son of a bitch. How are you diagnosing people with so much grace and empathy? Fuck you.
Oh my god,
that was actually so. Like watching that scene, it's fucked up. I mean, it's I don't know if it's fucked up, but or if it's just stupid. But like watching that scene in the middle of this stupid, silly show with which just makes me laugh or what. It was actually like very sweet. It was sweet for both of them actually. Like I felt good for Ron in that moment because like the last 3 episodes I have seen somebody who is just like it's not even like, you know, it doesn't even feel like it's about the show. It's just him like trying to like figure out how to exist in this environment and be himself. And it's like this dude's a comedian, you know what I mean? Like so he's used to bringing people joy, and it's just like it was tough to watch him kind of like struggle with how to present himself in front of all these people and like feel like he's cornered or whatever. So seeing him have that little bit of space with just another person and just have a really good time. And then you go, dude, Rob, come on, man. Give me something to hate about you, please.
And then also, well, he does later, but Rob R also like just him being like, does my name come up? Everybody just thinks I'm a dumb guy from Alabama. And I was like, ugh, God, you're so hot. I can't deal with it. Also, I think like what you just said is so interesting, and like here I am like psychoanalyzing Ron Funches as like a famously famous person, right? But like him being a comedian, and if like you're a comedian and your job is to make people laugh, and then you get into a situation where people are actually displeased by you, like they don't know how to function around you, that has to be so fucking frustrating to be around. I just felt so bad for him.
And just like you know, like Dr. Rob says, it's got it's got to be so lonely because he's like, I'm sure Ron has been a famous person for a while now.
Yeah.
And that's how when he comes into a room or whatever, people are, you know, they have joy. Like he brings them happiness. So yeah, I'm glad that they showed that for both of them. It was lovely.
Yeah,
it was nice.
It was lovely. Now we have like the inklings of like the Faithful Eight, which is sort of like Mark Ballas, Maura, Tara Lipinski, Johnny Weir, Kristen, and they're trying to pull in like Stephen Coletti and Eric and Candace and Rob. And I think it's so cute that nobody thinks about Candace or Rob as being traitors. I think that is amazing. Colton at this point talks to Natalie about Lisa. Colton is doing a lot of like Big Brother whispering, which I fucking hate. Natalie, keep an eye on Lisa. Okay, shut up. Just speak like a normal person. You're so annoying. Anyway, but what he does bring up is, I'm going to toss Lisa's name around and I want to see who's defending her. Because if somebody is defending her, then that means that they're probably also a traitor. And I was like, okay, all right, Colton. I'm not going to lie, you did eat with that one, but you're still fucking annoying. Then we have the mission, and it's, you know, at this big whatever, at this cabin, that we're back at the cabin. But on the way to the cabin, Colton's in a car with Tara Lipinski, Dorinda, and Robbar. And that's where he says, guys, if I die, it's Lisa, right? If I die tomorrow, it's Lisa. I was like, ooh. And then he's like, Rob, what do you think? And Rob's like, I mean, it's possible. Like anything is. He's like, it's plausible. And I was like, you know that word? Rob!
Commiserate and plausible?
Shut up, Rob! God! Anyway, they get to this cabin. I'll be honest with you. I don't pay attention to the rules of the game. I don't pay attention to the rules of the game. I'm just looking at what's happening. But everybody agrees that nobody's going to take a shield. And I like Natalie, because Natalie's like, if you take a shield, we're just going to banish you. You're not a team player. Fuck you. Now, what do you think about that?
No, I think that's fine. The reason why I raised my hand was because I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget about to talk about Natalie's outfit, which was amazing. It looked like she was living Tron. It had like these things. It was amazing. Like the first time, and then I was like, oh, and then they changed for the mission. I was like, oh man, I missed that outfit. But then they came back and she had it on again. Anyways, I agree with that. I think that that's a safe way to do it. Just be like, hey, you know what? If you are a traitor, you're going to go for the shield, right? So,
exactly.
Or we'll banish you. Yeah.
Now, Natalie's outfit, which a great thing you brought it up. This week we had the He-Man Masters of the Universe trailer come out, and Natalie's outfit was very She-Ra.
Yeah,
wasn't it? It was so She-Ra. It was like that little. I was like, that you have to have a sick body to be walking around in that absurd outfit.
Incredible body. Yeah,
Insane.
That's the other thing. I think somebody else asked us, like, thanked us for pointing out her guns or whatever. It's not us, it's her. It's all there, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, incredible. She lives in New Jersey and probably hits up an Equinox in Edgewater if you want to switch up your gym routine.
Unfortunately, I'm more of an LA Fitness type of person. I'm a $30 a month type of person. I've seen Lifetime. My brother has Lifetime. I'm like, ugh. It's like
and I'm too cheap and lazy to do either of those. Every day I tell myself maybe I'll just do squats after I eat, and I don't. Anyway, there's no shields taken. At the end, it's Eric, Rob, and Ron. They're the last three. Somebody did point out that very first clue, it was supposed to be like Louise Black, but they thought Louise Clark. Yeah. And then someone on the internet said, like, Colton kept yelling, "Black, Black." And they were like, I don't like Colton saying black like that. He just pisses me off. Now, just from like a logistics perspective, the very first thing was like a magnet on top, like moving around.
Yeah.
There are people inside of underneath the table, like staff. Imagine getting kicked in the face by fucking Dorinda because she got scared of like make-believe blood.
Well, so what I was more concerned about was like, like the hands coming out of the grave, right?
Yeah,
those were real hands, right? Those were people? Or were those... So where's that person standing?
I think that there's a grave underneath and they're standing under it.
Yeah, they're probably just,
That's gotta suck.
Yeah.
Do you think they got paid well?
I don't know.
Should I?
Do you think they got paid in salmon? Is that where all this salmon's going?
That's where the salmon is going. Anyway,
the guy underneath the grave just chomping away at salmon. Got a whole bucket.
Anyway, at the end, there's no shields taken, so somebody is going to be murdered. But this is where Rob says it's not looking good for Robby Bobby. And I was like, Robby Bobby? It reminded me of in Friends when Rachel's dad is like, his name is Dr. Bobby. Dr. Robby Bobby?
Robert Bobby, yeah.
Anyway, Rob doesn't want to vote for Ron, basically. Look, that's what it is at the end, because it's Eric, Rob, and Ron at the end who are left, and everybody's made their way back to the castle, and Rob just feels bad for Ron. He doesn't want to do it. It's dinner time, and yes.
Hold on. How do you feel about that? Or are we going to get into that later when we talk about his vote?
We have to get into it later because we'll talk about it. Okay. It's dinner time. It's dinner time, and Johnny and Mark they whisper, and they want to go Colton, and they've sort of tried to gather the fateful 8, and Rob tells Candace and Lisa that he does not want to vote for Ron. And this is where I wrote, why am I trembling with anxiety? And I do wonder if I should be honest with myself here, because I wonder if some of that trembling was not anxiety and just like Rob R making me tremble from the television. At one point, Dorinda's like, "This is my traitor's husband." And I was like, Dorinda, back off. Colton, this is when Colton says he's going to do a big move. He's going to take Lisa into the billiards room. And he says something which I thought was so crazy considering everything that we've learned about Colton in the last few weeks of him being on the show. He says, "I'm going to hold Lisa Rinna hostage."
This episode is brought to you by FX's The Beauty Official Podcast. Join host Evan Ross Katz on the official podcast for FX's hottest new series, The Beauty, taking you behind the scenes with its amazing stars as they discuss the show's most jaw-dropping moments. Featuring Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, Jeremy Pope, Ashton Kutcher, Rebecca Hall, Bella Hadid, Megan Trainor, Isabella Rossellini, Jessica Alexander, and Ari Grainer. Search FX's The Beauty wherever you listen to podcasts.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use, helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire an energy vampire. But also they're a literal vampire. And suddenly my team is spending all their time sharpening wooden stakes and buying bulk silver and rehearsing ancient chants, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant takes insights from over 1 billion professionals to create a short list of the best fits for you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
Oh, he said that.
Now, as a stalker, I don't know if that's like the best thing to say. Like, that to me feels like maybe better words, but what I loved in this interaction is like Lisa Rinna is too fucking cool for this dork. Like, he's like, I'm gonna go all the way to the end with you. First of all, he says, I want to go all the way to the end with you. I'll save you if you save me from the round table. No, I'll save you at the round table if you save me at the turret, right?
Yeah,
but I'm like, but like, also, that's not how the fucking game works, you idiot. If you think she's a traitor and then you make it to the end, she gets the money. Like what? It's not doing what you think it is. And I just love Lisa Rinna being like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Here's the thing about Colton. Like, this is that line or whatever reminded me of like the.
You muted yourself by accident.
Sorry. It reminded me of the time that he came after Tiffany, like at the round table. You can tell that he had rehearsed that line himself so many times in the mirror. He was like, oh, this is going to be a moment. And Lisa Rinna's like, fuck you, dude. Like, you just got on TV. Do you know who I am?
I'm Lisa fucking Rinna. Like, what are you doing? So then they get to the round table and it's very quiet. And I love Ron because he's like, so should we just start writing our names? Like, let's just write my name down. Let's say, he's like, we got to use the time, but whatever. And then Mark talks about Ron and Mark Ballas. He's like, look, Ron, I'm not sure it's a Portia vote that's throwing everybody off, but I loved Ron and how he defended himself in this. He was like, so wait, hold on. He was like, you guys are mad at me about Portia, but Colton's done more accusations than I have. Yep. Yeah. And he's like, you did Donna. I mean, he's like, you did Michael and you did Tiffany and you did Portia, but we don't count Michael because we don't like Michael, but because we love Portia, we're still on me. Yeah. I don't think that that's fair. And Colton really can't defend himself because ultimately what they end up saying is, well, we need to kick you out so that we get more information. And Ron's like, that doesn't seem fair. But then Ron says, well, you guys are going to vote me out anyway. I'd rather use the time right now to go around and tell everybody why I love you. Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I was kicking and screaming. And as he's going around and saying goodbye to everybody, Tara Lipinski says, guys, can I just say something? Ron's not a traitor. What are we doing? Ron is not a traitor. And everyone's like, yeah, Ron, we know you're not a traitor. We're just going to kind of banish you because it feels like we have nothing else to do. Yeah. And then Colton says he thinks it's Lisa. Yeah. And his reasoning is because she's Lisa Rinna, she's a housewife, and he doesn't like the fact that she voted against Portia because housewives are supposed to stick together. Now, Lisa is not one to spar with. And I was like, you're not fucking with Lisa Rinna here. But then when they go around doing the votes, we have a few people for Colton. We have a few people for Ron. And then Rob is basically like one of the last votes, right? Mm-hmm. Or he starts to,
he's the last vote.
And
no, he's one of the last votes.
He's one of the last votes. But then Rob votes for Lisa, which I was like, oh my God, Rob, what are you doing? And then we do see ultimately that Ron is voted out. And it just, here's the thing. If you're going to vote anybody out, maybe you vote out Eric. Like, Eric is the one that came with data, his pitch against Tiffany. Like, why are we not talking about Eric? Why are we voting against Ron? I don't love it. And I just think that Ron Funches deserves the entire world. He doesn't deserve these people. Fuck these people. I'll talk about the Rob vote in a second, but since then, Ron has been online. And one of the things that came, because he had like a weird interaction with Dorinda where he was like, I don't think that you and I can engage in a respectful way.
Really?
Ron Funches is now saying, like, in the show, he was like, Dorinda, you and I cannot communicate in a respectful way, right? Or productive way or something. But it turns out, he said later, like, oh, Dorinda is a monster. He was like, I'm going to talk about it at the reunion. Dorinda is not a good person. He's like, we had a few interactions where she's just like, he was like, she said some shit that was so crazy, like, I can't talk to her. And he's gonna go scorched earth against Dorinda. And it makes me really happy because last season Dorinda was absolutely nuts, and she proved herself to be nuts. And then they brought her back this season and gave her a standing ovation when she like survived.
Yeah.
And I just love that she has no idea what's gonna happen to her at the reunion.
Yeah, I think what it makes me think about is, I don't know, like I hope that the producers kind of take notes from like I mean, obviously I don't know what Ron is going to say, but the fact that Dorinda is a monster, as somebody that has just kind of only seen the stuff that you have forced me to watch. You've held me hostage and forced me to watch.
That's right.
That does not surprise me. Also, the things that you've told me about her, that does not surprise me, right? I remember her at the reunion, again, just trying to make it about herself or whatever. And it's like, yeah, okay, I can see why that is maybe compelling TV or whatever, but it doesn't seem like that's maybe the type of person that you should keep inviting on and keep giving a platform to, right? I think that I hope they learn the fucking lesson from having Michael Rappaport on.
Exactly.
Hey, like you don't have to resort to these kind of casting choices or whatever.
Yeah, he said, wait, let me just read you what he says. So somebody said, Dorinda's comments about how Ron Funches plays a game hits harder knowing that Ron has autism. Kind of another example of how unconscious biases run rampant on reality TV. And Ron said, oh, she has conscious bias. She said some truly terrible things to me, but since they were deeply personal and outside of gameplay, they were never shown. Just me blowing up at her out of nowhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, that's actually like fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about the Rob vote. Rob votes for Lisa because Colton trusts him and he loves Ron. Now, a little something you should know about Rob from Love Island is he was in a deep, deep bromance with a guy who actually won. I forgot his name. Eric? No, Alex. I forgot the name of the guy. I honestly, this is what happens when you're 40. The guy who he was in a deep bromance with, what the fuck was his name? Aaron. He was in a deep romance with Aaron on Love Island, and Aaron actually won Traitors a few years ago. He was on the UK celebrity version of Traitors, and Aaron won Traitors. But anyway, Rob had a deep bromance with Aaron, and you know how like the whole show Love Island is supposed to be like people coupling up or whatever, and then like when your girlfriend gets sent home, you get sad. Whatever, it didn't matter. Rob was pro bromance. And so like Rob then being like really torn between like voting for his friends versus voting against Lisa, I thought was like really telling into who Rob is. Like we've already seen this person established on television, but at the same time, from a gameplay perspective, I thought it was absolutely the right thing to do. Like,
yes,
he should have voted for Lisa. That was the smart thing to do. He said it himself. Exactly. Like, if I go against you, if I go against Colton, that doesn't look good for me.
Yep, exactly.
A person who's an asshole, I'm not trustworthy. That doesn't, like, Traitors at the end of the day is an individual game. That is how the game works. Like, unless you're faithful, I guess. But like, it's an individual game. A traitor does turn on themselves, but I thought it was great because it puts him in a place of safety. But also, like, Candace was in a great place because Candace is like, I'm going to continue to vote for Ron. I voted for Ron every single week. I'm consistent. And Ron even says, thank you for your consistency, right?
Yeah.
What I like about what happened between Lisa and Colton is, let's say they banish Lisa and they find out Lisa is a traitor. The traitors should keep Colton alive because let's say Lisa gets banished, they're going to assume that Colton is also a traitor because that little fight at the round table looks like traitor on traitor violence.
Yep. Exactly.
So I thought it was overall really great. Like Colton whispers to her, like something like, "If you, I'm gonna take myself out," or something like. What did he say? Oh, he said, "I'll take us both down to get you out." Why would you do that? What's the point?
Yeah,
that's stupid. Anyway,
here's what I'll say about the Rob vote. When he was talking about, I don't want to send Ron home. I don't want to write Ron's name, right? I don't know how much I'm being manipulated by the editing, because I had seen that chess scene or whatever. I don't know how much I'm being manipulated by my own hormones. You know what I mean? I don't know how much I want to buy this, but like, I get that. He's like, hey, like, first of all, he knows that Ron is a faithful, obviously, as a trader himself.
Yeah.
And like the way that he explained how he sees Ron as like this person who has been like dealing with loneliness and that stuff. You go, yeah, man, like I wouldn't want to write his name down either. Like that's really, really sweet. The Colton part, I understand in terms of gameplay. I think if he knew how close they were in terms of votes or whatever, he would be okay getting rid of Colton, right?
Yeah.
Because he'd say, well, I'm going with the room or whatever, and then Colton is out of the picture. He's just getting rid of another faithful or whatever. So I understood it. In terms of gameplay and all that stuff, I completely get it. Like, I don't know if there is I'm sure there is an argument about him turning on another traitor because that's supposed to be, like they're supposed to be a team or whatever. But for himself, like I see that now, like if I am a faithful at that round table, Rob is the last person on my mind. Like he's already been like the last person on my mind because
he's the only person on my mind.
I want to keep him in the castle for as long as I possibly can. But like if I'm like going and like, oh, okay, well, he's somebody that can be reasoned with. He's somebody that's looking at the evidence or whatever. So I loved it. I thought all of it was perfectly fine. I have no problems with it.
Amazing television.
Yeah, if anything, I like him more as a result.
I love him. Yeah. Okay, so Alan announced it's a halfway point.
Plausible. It's plausible that I'm horny.
It's a halfway point, and Alan announces that there's going to be a banquet, and this is like everybody's moving around the house, whatever. We find out that the night before he told the traders that there's going to be a an amulet that will need to be worn by one of the traders, and the first person to touch it dies, right? And Lisa Rinna's like, I'm fucking in. Okay, we'll talk about the outfit that she puts on later because it's nuts. And then this is like everybody's milling about the house before they go get ready for the stupid banquet. But Rob says to us, I kind of just wish I was a faithful. Like
it's so cute. He's like, I like hanging out with the faithfuls. Yeah.
He's like, I like hanging out with my friends. Like, this kind of sucks. And I was like, oh, you're so cute. He's like playing pool by himself.
So both of those things are really cute. Like when he says that, when he's like, I wish I was a faithful. And then also you can tell that he's playing pool by himself because he's avoiding Lisa Rinna. He's so scared of her. It's adorable.
He's so scared. He goes in the kitchen and Candace is there. Candace just starts pelting him with candy. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? And this is where Lisa Rinna's iconic. She walks in the room and she just points at him.
Yeah.
She points at him and I was like, oh God. I would love it.
It was great.
It was so good. But I do get what he said. He was like, guys, I was in a situation like where and I think they did understand where Rob was coming from, like once he said it. But we also have this moment where Lisa is they're in the bar room, I guess, and at the bar, and Lisa is like, Colton, I just want to tell you something. I'm so much more than a housewife. I was a housewife for like 3 years. Like I was a housewife for 5 years, 3 years ago. But I was Lisa fucking Rinna before the Housewives, and I'm Lisa fucking Rinna after. And I was like, yeah, these stupid idiots have not seen Days of Our... She's Billy Reed from Days of Our Lives. She was on Melrose Place. Like, how do you not know Lisa? She sold diapers, for God's sake. Like, this woman is not... She was an M&M, okay? She interviewed... Do you not remember this? She was like an animated M&M with like a Lisa Rinna wig at like one of like the Oscars promotions. It was so stupid. But anyway, Lisa Rinna does more stuff than Housewives. So Colton, she's like, Colton, I'm a lot more than that. And then Colton says, I was going to say if there's any traders in the room, like just take me out tonight, okay? Because like otherwise I'm never gonna leave you alone. Shut up, Colton.
What's like the, I don't know. Like again, Colton is a gay man, right?
Yeah.
And like you always want to be like, oh, okay, like, oh, obviously you want to be respectful, but I understand that like that's just a douche, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like that's what I see. He's
Yeah.
just like a white douche. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was What are you doing?
Yeah. So somebody, Lisa Rinna's been online. Okay, this
Mhm.
is amazing. So Lisa Rinna's been online. She went on Instagram. She took it to her stories and she was talking about it. And one thing she said about Rob R, she was like, the thing with Rob is like he is so good looking that people can't stare at him for too long. So like they don't really like they don't know what to do. Like if he's talking to you, like they don't know what to do. So like their brain just shuts off. She's like, he's actually
Johnny
so
Weir said that.
Yeah.
Johnny Weir said, he's like, I can't even look at him.
I can't look at him. Like they don't know what to do. So he's not on anybody's radar. She's like, Candace is a master. She does the round table. She's like masterful in it. And she's like, with me, she's like, yeah, I don't know what Colton's problem is. She's like, he's got to go. He's got a lot of issues. She's like, I don't want to deal with it. But then she was also on Threads and somebody posted this, the video, the picture of her saying, let's talk about like, or Kim Richards saying, let's talk about the husbands, right? To Lisa Rinna in Amsterdam and the Beast dinner and her getting mad. So
Beast.
Yeah. So somebody said, this is who Colton thinks he's slick up against. Good luck, buddy. Because she also says, she's like, what do you want me to do? Like smash a wine bottle and like flip a table? Like, I'm not going to do that. That's not who I am. I'm a real person, you know? So somebody posted that and she responded to that meme saying, let's talk about you being a stalker.
I'll say this, man. I came away with so much more respect for Lisa Rinna as a result of this episode. Because I obviously, I do remember her as an actress, but what I know of her recently is the Housewives stuff, right?
Yeah.
She was, as the kids say, standing on business.
She was. She clocked his tea. I don't know if I'm using that correctly.
No cap, no cap.
Oh my God. Somebody said, imagine if they murdered in plain sight with the salmon. Everybody would be dead. The whole cast would be dead. Now, who do you think they're going to get ready for this? I love Candace. Candace is like, so much has happened. I'm so stressed out and I have to go put on Spanx and a stupid headdress for this stupid fucking party.
So
I love her. Now, who do you think they should kill?
I don't know if they can even target anybody to kill, right? Like it's an amulet. I was trying to think of like how you get somebody to touch it. To me, it's pretty simple. Lisa comes down with it or whatever, and then probably Candace goes, "Oh my God, look at that thing!" and she's like touching it or whatever, and then somebody else touches it. That would feel like the most the easiest way to do it. Just kind of thinking how you get somebody to touch it that feels like a woman would touch it. You know what I mean?
Now,
I don't know.
That outfit that Lisa Rinna puts on.
I don't remember it. I'm sorry. I was on the purple.
Oh my God, no, Raheel. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna send it to you. Lisa Rinna.
I was
amulet outfit. Traitors. Okay.
I remember it being ornate.
Ornate. She looked like a sailor. She was dressed like a small English boy on his way to church for.
Oh, there it is. I see it. The hat.
It was so absurd. And then like the big like bib, bib. So
that's crazy.
I think, here's the thing. I think this is what would be the best thing for them. Okay. I think that she should target Johnny Weir, Kristen Kitsch, even though I fucking love her, or Mark Ballas. Because those are the people that she has to look at who voted against Colton at the round table, this past round table, right? Like it just happened there and they're going to the next thing. So she's got to target the person who voted against Colton first. And I think the first person who voted against Colton was Johnny Weir. I love Johnny Weir. I think he's amazing.
Yeah, he's getting better on this show. He was quiet for like the first 5 weeks and I was a little bit disappointed because I love him on like the Olympics coverage. Yeah. He's really come alive. If I'm smart, and this sucks because I don't want to see her go, Kristen's the one that you target, right? Because she was the first one that I recall saying Colton and saying his name very loudly. Plus, like whatever's happening with like the Colton versus Monet exchange thing, which is very
Oh,
interesting.
yeah. The insider info on that is that people who were at the castle themselves have said that off camera, Monet exchange was like beloved. Everybody loved Monet. And so when Kristen says something happened, like I think Monet is intimidated by, or Colton is intimidated by Monet, I think it's because of the interactions that happen at the castle because I think Monet was HGIC, head gay in charge. And I think that Colton did not like that. Every week, I have to say, this is so stupid. Every week on Threads, I like just insult Colton. I'm like, you know what? I like this week I said, like, you know, the thing is I just hate Colton, LOL. It's got like 1,000 views. Like, why? People just like love it. Like, why? Like, it's so stupid. But so you know what, Colton, I hope that your mental health is good. But I also know that you've terrorized women for years and gotten away with it. So like, also fuck you.
You know, you want to be careful and sensitive and all those things, right?
Yeah,
but yeah,
sure.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
I don't think like I
He's a douchey white dude. He's a douchey white dude.
The way that I watch this show is a lot of times I'm just like, hey, would I want to be friends with this person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Colton of the current cast, Colton is the last person that I'd want to be friends with. Like Eric seems like a great time. Like Mark. And by the way, Steven, like at some point we're gonna have
Stephen Clady, how about you have a fucking voice? Okay.
Yeah, how about we have a personality? Although that sweater looked great. Like that whole dad outfit on him looked fantastic. But I'm like, okay, I can hang out with Steven. Colton is the one that I do not want to hang out with. It feels like he is somebody that wants to make everything about himself. He's also like a big burly guy. He knows the attention that he can attract because he looks the way that he does and all those things. And yeah, he's just bad energy, man. I just don't like his energy.
Yeah, the energy is sour. I don't like it. Anyway, well, that's the end of our Traitors chat. Now, I do want to just quickly touch on some other housekeeping items. Now, I did share with the audience that
we'll be touching on things.
I did share. I did share your 2 messages that you sent me to the people. One was a peach emoji, and you said, "I see what you mean about the butt." And that was at 11 p.m. And then 11:50, you said, "I'm all in, by the way." So it sounds to me like your heated rivalry watch is going pretty smoothly.
I've only seen. Listen, it is going. I'll tell you what's happening.
You're savoring it. I understand.
Oh, I'm savoring something. I watched the first episode on Thursday night, right? And then yesterday, I had plans to watch it, but then I had to watch Traitors on Parkway. And then I was at a friend's house and I got home at 2 a.m. So I haven't watched the second episode yet.
Oh my God.
But I am so excited to start watching it. When you and I were talking, when I started the first episode, and you know, I hope this is okay to talk about, but like as I started watching it, it gets to the sex scene. It was like 11:30 at night or whatever. And at that point, I was like, yo, you know what? This is a little bit intense for me right now in this moment.
I'm like not high enough for this.
Yeah. I'm like, I think I need to stop watching it at night. Like I right now, I like the show. I'm going to watch it.
It gets too high.
I know I need to watch it in the daytime because at night, I don't know what the creepy crawlies in my body are going to do. It's really more me afraid of myself, right? And then I was chatting with you, and then I think you said something.
I said it's just a little fellation.
Yeah, a little fellation, right? And then I went and I had I smoked. By the way, can we talk about how cool they make smoking look again?
Okay, they make smoking look amazing. I can't wait to talk to you about how the cast is also smoking. Like
I saw a picture of the Asian dude at
Hudson
like a fashion show. Yeah, at a fashion show smoking. And I was like, here we go, baby. Let's go. I'll say this. I know nicotine kills. I know it's bad. I know it's gonna, it causes cancer and all those things. Somebody smoking a cigarette is so much cooler than somebody vaping. Right? We can agree
100%. Yes.
Yeah. And so I was thinking, like, because I was going to talk to you about it because you're very anti-smoke because of whatever, cancer or whatever. I think as long as that butt is attached to a smoker, it is okay. That's when you. So if you want to smoke, do squats. I think is the at the end of the day.
Yeah, because you know what, squats are really good for your heart health and your lungs. So I feel like that's got to like counterbalance. The last time smoking looked so sexy to me was Mad Men. Also, a really hot guy. Like John Hamm made smoking look insanely hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know. Well, I can't wait for you to watch the rest. Yeah.
Yeah, so I here's all I'll say about the first episode is because I paused it because it was like right in the middle of like the fellation scene. It was them in the hotel room, and then I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, I have watched like straight, quote unquote, straight shows. Like, they remember the show with the guy from The Wire and the British lady. I don't remember the name of the show. It was their two perspectives on like.
Oh, it was like the affair.
Like the affair. Yeah. I think it was just called The Affair or whatever, right? And I was like, well, that show had a lot of sex in it also, right? And the sex is a part of the storyline, right?
That's right.
And so it's like, okay, it is a part of the storyline. It tells part of the story. I have to figure out how I'm going to watch this stuff because I will say it's intense. It is intense, and it may just be intense because I'm not used to seeing it, but I don't think you've ever seen a gay sex scene like that. I mean, I don't know.
New Year, same extra value meals at McDonald's. So now get 2 snack wraps plus fries and a medium soft drink for just $8.
For limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
I don't know what's going on in your incognito window or whatever. So I was like, there is information being shared through the sex scene. And there is like, it talks about like how one guy is more aggressive than the other because he's more comfortable in his skin and like the acts.
That's right. There's so much to unpack. And you know what I love?
Yeah.
What I love is that the very first episode, they're like, yeah, you're going to see butts and some dick sucking. That's what's going to happen on this show. Exactly. And I kind of love that they kind of put it out there in the very first episode because it's like, if you can't get past this, then you're not comfortable enough to see through the rest of it. And I think that that's kind of, I can't wait to talk about Heated Rivalry at length. But I think one of the things that people do need to understand is that, like, you know, we talk about like, oh, love is love and everybody can love anybody and it's totally fine. But then people will say like, but I like don't need to see it like in my face. Yeah. Well, what they really mean by that is that they're uncomfortable with the idea of two men sexually engaging with each other, right? So it's like, you can stay here for the love story if you're actually comfortable with the fact that part of that love story includes sucking dick.
Yeah, exactly. And so, again, I don't know because I've only seen the first episode, but what my experience was that I went through that. I survived. I survived 2 hot men making out with each other. That was a burden that I had to take personally. No, and honestly, like the way that there were some parts of it when I felt like it was getting too intense or whatever, I would focus my eyes on other places. And again, I am the wrong one.
That's for you to. That's for you to.
I understand.
Out. Yeah.
And then also like there were scenes where I was like, okay, can I forward through this a little bit quicker and like not miss anything? And so I tried doing that a couple of places, and then you go, well, they seem to be talking now, and again, that information is important. Whatever. Yeah. The point is, I first messaged you and I said, hey, this is a little bit intense, and I paused it, but then I went back to it, and then that second message that I sent you, where it said that I'm all the way in. Is because it is fucking worth it. Like, it is a great show. Yeah. I want to talk to you about when we talk about it, right? Yeah. The first 15 minutes, what I was thinking about was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Oh. And I will tell you exactly why. There is something, the rivalry aspect of this, right? And like the way that they show it, the way that they show being obsessed with your rival. Now, obviously, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson did not engage in a homosexual relationship, but like when you watch their documentaries and they talk about like how they used to check each other's box scores when they used to wake up, that was the first thing that they used to do because they were so obsessed with each other's success or whatever, right? Yeah, those are the things that I was thinking about when you see them at the gym, just trying to outduel each other and just thinking about each other and like being on top of each other's minds. That is a real thing that happens in sports. It just so happens that these are two very attractive men that also like to have sex with each other, which so it's like
it
makes for an interesting as fuck show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's shot beautifully. So I can't wait. I think that what this calls for is a full. The soundtrack is amazing, guys.
It is, by the way. The experience was like going to an EDM show. This is why you should come to an EDM.
I can't wait to go to an EDM show. That's one of the things I'd really like to do in 2026.
This love is up. I'm going to one on Valentine's Day.
Should I bring my husband? He wouldn't last. Anyway, I think it's important for us. It sounds to me like we're gonna do a heated rivalry only episode next week. I think that's
be
something
on OnlyFans.
I think that it's really important for us because it's going to be cold. The world is miserable. We need to talk about something that brings us joy. But also, so there was this podcast called Empty Netters. They're a hockey podcast and they're a bunch of straight guys. And they started doing this thing where they got really popular because they were recording themselves watching the show together and they would talk about it. And it got a lot of attention. Like even the creators had heard that they were talking about it. All that stuff. They had like a few people from the show on their podcast, but then recently somebody found text messages between the creators that somehow leaked that said, quote, "I think these losers who made this show are cowards. This is trash they make because it panders. It's provocative and it checks inclusivity boxes." He called people a bunch of like blue-haired Twitter users. So my point is, we don't trust straight men who get into gay stuff. Well, let me reword that. Yeah. But my point is, the world is currently looking for somebody's opinion that they trust that is not a gross dude bro, white dude bro who like wants it. Let's talk about it at length. Ooh. Let's talk about it in depth. Ooh.
Let's have a girthy discussion about it.
Let's talk about it to completion. I can't wait to get into that. Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
It's a thick topic for us to bite into.
Not biting. Oh, no.